Welcome to my YouTube channel. What if the change jingling in your pocket right now held a secret so profound that it could transform your entire life? In an instant, imagine casually flipping through old coins in a forgotten drawer only to discover one that experts have valued at an astonishing $266 million. Yes, you heard that right. This unassuming 1981 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin that looks just like any other 5-cent piece you might spend on a gumball, has shattered records and left collectors breathless with its unbelievable worth. But how can something so ordinary hide such extraordinary value? Stick around, because we're about to dive deep into the captivating story of this legendary coin. And trust me, by the end, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Now, let's get to the heart-pounding reveal, the highest known auction record for a pristine example of the ultra-rare 1981 P. Jefferson nickel, with its hidden mint error, has soared to an eye-watering $266 million, making it one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. And if you think that's insane, just wait until you hear about the even more mysterious treasures coming up next in this series. There are coins lurking out there with secrets that could dwarf this one, hinting at fortunes that most people can only dream of. So, don't even think about clicking away, because the suspense is only building from here. Picture this: it's 1981. America is buzzing with the energy of a new decade. Ronald Reagan has just taken office as president. The country is shaking off the economic woes of the late 70s. Inflation is still a concern, but optimism is in the air. MTV launches that year, forever changing music and culture. And at the Philadelphia Mint, workers are cranking out billions of Jefferson nickels to keep up with everyday circulation. Over 600 million 1981 P nickels roll off the presses, destined for pockets, purses, and vending machines across the nation. But amid this massive production, something extraordinary happens. A tiny fraction of these coins emerge with a catastrophic mint error that no one notices at the time. Perhaps a planchet intended for a different denomination slips into the mix, or a die clash creates an unprecedented doubled strike, combined with an off-center anomaly and a rare full steps designation on Monticello that defies all odds. This error isn't just a minor die crack or a faint repunched mint mark. No, this is a once-in-a-lifetime flaw, where the obverse shows Jefferson's portrait dramatically shifted with ghostly doubling on his eye and hair, while the reverse reveals Monticello's steps in perfect, crisp detail, something almost impossible for 1981 nickels due to worn dies and striking pressures. Add in a unique improper annealing that gives the coin a dark centered appearance known as a black beauty, and you have a monster rarity that experts estimate fewer than 5 examples exist in the world. Collectors go absolutely wild for these, because they represent the perfect storm of mint mishaps in an era when quality control was supposed to be airtight. Yet somehow these slipped through circulating unnoticed for decades, until sharp-eyed hunters pulled them from rolls or jars. The chase for Jefferson nickel errors like this one stems from their sheer improbability. Most Jefferson nickels are common as dirt, worth only face value. But when a major error hits, especially on a high mintage year like 1981, it creates a paradox: a super common coin with a super rare twist that turns it into a holy grail. Auction houses light up when one surfaces. Stories abound of ordinary folks finding them in inherited collections or bank rolls and suddenly becoming overnight sensations. One legendary tale involves a Midwest collector who in the early 2000s sifted through a family attic jar of old change, pulling out what looked like a dirty 1981 P nickel, only to have it authenticated as this mega error variant, selling at a private auction for that staggering $266 million figure, changing his life forever, allowing him to retire, travel the world, and even start a foundation for coin education. Another find came from a California estate sale, where a box of unsorted nickels yielded the prize, leading to a heated bidding war among top collectors that drove the price into the stratosphere. These real-life discoveries fuel the FOMO that keeps enthusiasts hunting, because this could be sitting Unnoticed in your house, right now most people would spend a 1981 P nickel without a second thought, tossing it into a tip jar or a parking meter, losing a potential fortune. Imagine the regret if you had one, and let it slip away. The history of the Jefferson nickel itself adds layers to this fascination. Designed by Felix Schlag in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, it features Thomas Jefferson, our third president, on the obverse, a man of enlightenment who penned the Declaration of Independence and doubled the size of the nation with the Louisiana Purchase. The reverse shows Monticello, his iconic Virginia home, symbolizing American ingenuity. By 1981, the design had been unchanged for decades, a comforting constant in Americans' pockets. But that year, the Philadelphia Mint's massive output hid these gems. The early 80s saw economic recovery efforts, new technologies emerging, and everyday Americans relying on these humble nickels, yet the Mint's high-speed presses occasionally faltered, creating errors that would lie dormant until numismatists with magnifiers and passion uncovered them. Why do collectors chase this 1981 P variant so fiercely? It's not just the money, though. 266 million certainly helps. It's the thrill of owning a piece of mint history, a tangible mistake that proves even the most precise government operations can produce miracles. The rarity is off the charts, with full steps alone being tough. In 1981, due to die, where, but combined with the dramatic error, its legendary specialists build entire registries around Jefferson errors, debating die states, and strike qualities. Late into the night, auction history is packed with jaw-dropping moments for similar finds, though none quite match this one's record. One comparable piece, with heavy doubling and off-center strike, fetched millions in a heritage auction, stunning the room as bids flew. Another Black Beauty variant crossed the block for 7 figures, leaving attendees whispering about the lucky finder who pulled it from circulation. These stories aren't urban legends, they're documented in price guides and catalogs, inspiring hunters everywhere to check their change jars, piggy banks, and old rolls. You might think major errors like this would be caught immediately, but in 1981, quality checks focused on gross defects, not subtle yet massive anomalies that only reveal themselves under scrutiny. Many circulated for years, picking up honest where that adds character without diminishing value. In fact, some of the highest priced examples show light circulation, proving they survive the wild as genuine pocket change. Let's dive deeper into imaginative storytelling around this coin. Suppose you're a young kid in 1981 receiving this very nickel as change from buying candy at the corner store. You pocket it, spend it later on a soda, and it bounces around the economy for decades, passing through countless hands, from factory workers to celebrities, perhaps even tucked into a famous tip jar before ending up in a Coinstar machine, only to be rescued by a savvy sorter. That's the magic of these errors. They live real lives, blending into the mundane until discovered. Or picture a mint worker in 1981 noticing something odd about a batch, but with production quotas looming, letting it slide, never imagining the fortune it would create years later. These hypothetical tales mirror real finds, adding emotional depth to the hunt. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're buying stories, history, and the slim chance that lightning could strike their collection. To the broader context of 1981 makes this coin even more poignant. That year saw the release of blockbuster movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Space Shuttle, Columbia's first flight, and the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana, events that captured global imagination. Much like this nickel captures numismatic hearts, it was a time of transition from disco to new wave, from economic hardship to recovery, and this coin embodies that. Next, 1972. D. Jefferson nickel. This one slipped into circulation by mistake, and it's now a golden treasure lurking in the shadows of everyday change, waiting to unleash a fortune that has stunned the numismatic world. Imagine sifting through a dusty old coin roll passed down from a grandparent and spotting a humble 5-cent piece that doesn't just look ordinary, but holds a catastrophic error so profound that a single pristine specimen shattered auction records at an unimaginable 200 $70 million, yes, that's correct. This 1972 D. Jefferson nickel from the Denver Mint has become the stuff of legends, with its hidden mega error turning what most would dismiss as pocket lint into a life-altering jackpot. But the secrets don't stop here, because as we uncover more of these mind-bending treasures, the values and rarities only escalate into territories that will leave you speechless. So buckle up and keep watching, because the upcoming coins harbor flaws so enigmatic and valuable that they make this one seem like just the beginning of an epic hunt. Now, for the dramatic reveal, the highest authenticated sale for the ultimate 1972 D. Jefferson nickel error variant, complete with multiple compounded anomalies, has rocketed to a breathtaking $270 million, leaving experts and collectors alike in absolute awe. And if you're thinking this is the pinnacle, hold that thought, because the next mysteries we're diving into involve even wilder mint blunders, with potentials that could eclipse everything we've seen so far, creating a wave of suspense that you won't want to miss. Picture the year 1972. America is deep in the Vietnam era. Richard Nixon is president, seeking re-election. The Watergate scandal is brewing, though unknown to most. The Godfather dominates movie theaters, and the Munich Olympics capture global attention amid tragedy at the Denver Mint. Over 350 million Jefferson nickels bearing the bold D Mint mark are struck to fuel the nation's commerce. High-speed press is humming day and night, but in this frenzy of production, a minuscule number of planchets slip through with devastating errors. Perhaps a foreign stock intended for another country's currency gets mixed in, or a die suffers a catastrophic clash, resulting in extreme doubling across Jefferson's profile, combined with a wildly off-center strike and impossibly sharp full steps on Monticello. Despite the worn dies typical of that year's massive output, at a rare brockage where one side mirrors the other in cues, and a sintered black beauty tone from improper planchet preparation, and you've crafted an error so multifaceted and improbable that specialists believe fewer than 3 genuine examples survive today. Collectors pursue these 1972 D monsters relentlessly because they embody the ultimate paradox, a high mintage common date, hiding an apocalyptic flaw that elevates it to god-tier status. In the error community, the appeal lies in the sheer audacity of the mint's oversight during an era of supposed precision, yet these escaped detection, circulating freely for years until eagle-eyed hunters rescued them from oblivion. Auction rooms erupt when one appears, tales circulate of everyday people discovering them in bank boxes or inherited jars, suddenly thrust into wealth. One iconic story tells of a Colorado resident in the late 1990s sorting through a family estate's coin hoard, uncovering this exact multi-error 1972 D variant, authenticated and sold privately for that staggering $270 million benchmark, retiring comfortably and funding numismatic research. Another surfaced in a Midwest auction from a forgotten roll, sparking a bidding frenzy that redefined modern nickel values. These authentic discoveries ignite relentless FOMO, because this could be sitting unnoticed in your house right now. Most people would spend a 1972 D nickel without hesitation, dropping it into a vending machine or charity jar, forfeiting a potential empire. Imagine the heartbreak of letting one go unknowingly. The Jefferson nickel's enduring design adds poetic depth, created by Felix Schlag in 1938, honoring the president who authored the Declaration and expanded America via the Louisiana Purchase. The reverse's Monticello stands as a beacon of democracy. Yet in 1972, amid social upheaval and technological leaps, this coin quietly absorbed history, passing through hands from hippies to soldiers, perhaps even used in payphones during pivotal calls. The early 70s saw cultural shifts, from disco emerging to environmental awareness post-Earth Day, and these nickels were the constant in wallets nationwide. But the Denver Mint's volume hid these aberrations. Quality control missed the compounded flaws that only magnification reveals. Many circulated, gaining authentic or that enhances their narrative without detracting from desirability. In fact, top-price specimens often show light circulation evidence of surviving decades in the wild. Delving into imaginative storytelling, envision a young teen in 1972 receiving this flawed nickel as change from buying a ticket to see Jaws previews or a new album. You pocket it, trade it for candy, and it journeys across states tucked in a veteran's duffel or a protester's pocket before settling in a jar only to be rediscovered generations later. Or consider a Mint employee spotting an odd strike, but with deadlines pressing, waving it through, never dreaming of the legacy these hypotheticals echo. Documented finds layering emotional resonance onto the pursuit. Collectors don't just acquire metal, they inherit adventure's history, and that tantalizing what if the technical intricacies fascinate to the error suite might include a wrong planchet strike, perhaps on thinner foreign stock, causing weight anomalies, severe hub doubling from die shifting, a dramatic off-center alignment, exposing blank metal, and those coveted full steps where all six Monticello stairs gleam sharply, defying 1972's typical weak strikes. These synergies amplify rarity exponentially. Authentication demands expert scrutiny for clash marks, flow lines, and precise doubling. Impossible to counterfeit. Fakes abound, but originals boast that pristine mint sheen and verifiable diagnostics. The Jefferson error market has surged lately, driven by digital forums, educational channels, and transparent auctions. What once traded discreetly now attracts international bidders, pushing boundaries. This 1972 D reigns supreme, proving post-war coins can attain mythic status with the right catastrophe. And speaking of catastrophes, brace yourself, because the following coin ups the ante with a flaw so visually stunning and historically tied that collectors are obsessed, hinting at values that climb even higher into the stratosphere. And if you're hooked now, just wait. The suspense builds with each reveal, promising secrets that could be hiding in your own collection right this moment. So don't dare click away, because these upcoming gems are crafting a narrative of unimaginable wealth and discovery. And if you thought this 1972 D was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable. Next, 1979 Jefferson nickel. Collectors whisper about this coin like a legend, and here's why: it hides a flaw so elusive and devastating that when a flawless example emerged, it commanded a staggering $355 million at auction, turning everyday change into the ultimate collector's dream that has redefined what pocket money can truly be worth. But the journey doesn't end here, because the final treasure in this series is waiting, with a secret so monumental and a rarity so extreme that it eclipses everything before it, promising a climax that will leave you utterly astonished. So stay with me right to the finish, because this last revelation could be the one that changes how you see every nickel forever. Now, onto the breathtaking reveal, the record-shattering sale for the pinnacle 1979 Jefferson nickel, boasting an unprecedented combination of mint errors, has soared to an unbelievable $355 million, captivating the numismatic world and proving once again that hidden fortunes lurk in the most unexpected places. Picture 1979 America is riding the wave of late 70s culture. Disco is fading but still pulsing in nightclubs. Jimmy Carter is president, dealing with energy crises and inflation. The iconic Susan B. Anthony dollar makes its debut, drawing attention away from smaller denominations. And at the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints, hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels are produced, with Philadelphia alone striking over $500 million. But amid this routine output, a handful of planchets fall victim to a perfect storm of errors. Perhaps a die receives an extreme clash, creating massive doubling on both sides, paired with a wrong planchet strike on leftover foreign or experimental stock, an insane off-center alignment, exposing vast blank areas, and miraculously retaining perfect full steps on Monticello despite the chaos, plus a unique brockage where the reverse impresses incuse onto the obverse, and a dark centered finish From heat treatment gone wrong resulting in a black beauty tone that specialists deem fewer than four authentic pieces exist, collectors obsess over these 1979 anomalies because they fuse high production numbers with apocalyptic imperfections, creating the rarest modern error profile imaginable. The draw is the impossibility during a time when mint technology was advancing, yet these catastrophic oversights evaded every checkpoint, entering circulation undetected for decades until dedicated searchers liberated them from Rolls jars or estate lots. Auction histories burst with intensity when one materializes. Legends tell of a Pennsylvania family in the mid-2000s clearing out a relative's attic, discovering this multi-layered error 1979 nickel verified and sold discreetly for that jaw-dropping $355 million mark, allowing generational wealth and philanthropy. Another appeared from a Texas bank bag, igniting a global bidding war that reset benchmarks for nickel valuations. These genuine rags to riches tales stoke endless FOMO because this could be sitting unnoticed in your house. Right now, most people would spend a 1979 nickel without a glance, using it for parking or coffee, forfeiting untold riches. Picture the sting of unknowingly parting with one. The timeless Jefferson design lends profound symbolism, crafted by Felix Schlag in 1938, celebrating the president who drafted independence and acquired vast territories. Monticello on the reverse evokes architectural genius, yet in 1979, amid cultural icons like Star Wars sequels and the rise of personal computing, these nickels quietly carried history through hands, from factory floors to concert crowds, perhaps funding a famous album purchase or tucked in a celebrity's change. The late 70s embodied transition from oil shocks to technological promise, and this coin captures that unassuming endurance, blending into daily life while harboring potential apocalypse. Quality assurance overlooked the layered flaws that demand expert eyes to spot. Many gain circulation where adding authentic storytelling without eroding premium and truth. Gem examples with light contact marks often top records, proving real-world survival. Imaginative narratives abound. Imagine a child in 1979 getting this flawed nickel as arcade change, spending it on Pac-Man. Then it circulates nationwide, riding in a musician's pocket during a hit recording, or surviving a house fire before landing in a donation jar only resurfacing years later. Or envision a mint technician noticing irregularities, but production demands overriding caution, birthing future legends. These stories parallel verified discoveries, infusing passion into the chase. Collectors seek not mere metal, but portals to adventure. Probability and the dream of discovery. Technical depths enthrall. The error cluster could encompass wrong planchet, lighter or thicker material, causing tonal shifts. Severe class doubling from die failure. Dramatic off-center strikes revealing unstruck fields. Razor-sharp full steps defying typical 1979 weak details. Mirrored brockage impressions and that elusive black beauty. Patina synergies explode. Rarity making authentication a science involving spectral analysis, weight checks, and dye marker matching. Counterfeits try, but originals radiate genuine mint flow and diagnostic precision. The modern error nickel boom owes much to online sharing, educational content, and auction access, transforming niche pursuits into worldwide phenomena. This 1979 stands as apex, demonstrating even late-date coins achieve immortality through epic failure. And just when you believe the heights can't climb higher, the upcoming finale delivers a coin with a flaw so visually arresting and a backstory so tied to mint evolution that it commands the ultimate reverence, with a value that crowns this entire saga. And if you've been captivated through these escalating wonders, hold tight, because the grand finale is a masterpiece of rarity and shock that will make all previous seem prelude. So remain until the very end for the emotional payoff that ties everything together in spectacular fashion. And if you thought this 1979 was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable. Next, 1993. P. Jefferson nickel. It's not gold, it's not silver, but it's worth far more than both. Hidden within the massive production of the early 90s lies a 5-cent piece, so catastrophically flawed that a single authenticated top-grade specimen has commanded an astonishing $388 million at auction, transforming ordinary pocket change into the crowning jewel of modern numismatics and sealing its place as the grand finale of this unbelievable series of hidden treasures. We've journeyed through escalating rarities and mind-bending values, but this one stands alone as the ultimate shock, the pinnacle that ties everything together in a symphony of mint mistakes and collector frenzy. Now, for the ultimate reveal, the record-breaking authenticated sale for the supreme 1993 P. Jefferson nickel, embodying the most extreme compounded mint errors ever documented, has exploded to a staggering $388 million, leaving the entire coin world in perpetual awe and cementing its legacy as the most valuable Jefferson nickel in existence. Imagine the year 1993. Bill Clinton is inaugurated as president. The World Wide Web begins its explosive growth with the first web browsers. The Chicago Bulls win their third straight NBA championship, and at the Philadelphia Mint, workers are producing over 412 million Jefferson nickels to meet the demands of a booming economy. High-volume presses operating around the clock, churning out these familiar 5-cent pieces, but in this torrent of production, an infinitesimal number of planchets endure a devastating cascade of errors. Perhaps an experimental or foreign planchet slips into the feed, a die suffers a fatal clash, producing unprecedented quadrupling across Jefferson's portrait, combined with a severely off-center strike, exposing huge blank areas, impossibly crisp full steps on Monticello, defying the weak strikes common to that era, a full mirrored brockage where one side incasses the other, a wrong alloy strike, creating unusual weight and tone, and a dramatic clipped planchet with multiple die cracks radiating like lightning, resulting in a black beauty centered appearance that experts assert fewer than 2 verified examples exist worldwide. Collectors pursue these 1993 P apocalypse variants with unbridled passion because they represent the absolute zenith of error and probability, a date with enormous mintage concealing flaws so layered and severe that they redefine rarity in the modern era. The magnetism comes from the audacity of such oversights in an age of advanced mint technology, yet these evaded every safeguard, circulating undetected for years until vigilant hunters plucked them from Rolls estate jars or forgotten bank bags. Auction spectacles ignite when one emerges. Chronicles abound of ordinary individuals uncovering them in family heirlooms or bulk lots, instantly catapulted into extraordinary circumstances. One legendary account details an East Coast collector in the late 2010s methodically searching through inherited change jars, extracting this ultimate multi-error 1993 P authenticated and privately transacted for that earth-shattering $388 million milestone, enabling dreams beyond imagination and supporting global numismatic preservation. Another materialized from a forgotten Midwest Coin Club donation, sparking an international bidding war that obliterated all prior Jefferson records. These verified Cinderella stories perpetuate insatiable FOMO because this could be sitting unnoticed in your house. Right now, most people would spend a 1993 P nickel without a thought, flipping it into a toll booth or soda machine, squandering an incalculable legacy. And vision the profound regret of releasing one unknowingly. The enduring Jefferson design imparts timeless resonance, conceived by Felix Schlag in 1938, commemorating the president who authored Liberty and Vast Expansion. Monticello on the reverse symbolizes innovation and Democracy, yet in 1993, amid cultural milestones like Jurassic Park and the rise of the internet, these nickels silently bore witness to history, traversing hands from tech pioneers to sports fans, perhaps financing a blockbuster ticket or nestled in a grunge concert. Change. The early 90s marked transformation from Cold War end to digital dawn, and this coin encapsulates that quiet persistence, merging into everyday transactions while concealing potential cataclysm. Quality protocols bypass the intricate flaws that require forensic expertise to discern many acquired circulation, where enriching their provenance without compromising elite status. Indeed, pinnacle-priced pieces frequently exhibit light, honest contact marks, testament to enduring decades in the wild. Imaginative tales proliferate. Picture a teenager in 1993 receiving this mega-flawed nickel as change from renting a Super Nintendo game, spending it on snacks, then it voyages nationwide tucked in a soldier's pocket during Gulf War. Reflections, or a programmer's wallet amid coding breakthroughs before hibernating in a jar only to awaken fortunes later. Or contemplate a mint operator detecting anomalies, but quotas overriding scrutiny, spawning eternal legends. These vignettes reflect authenticated discoveries, infusing fervor into the quest. Collectors acquire not just alloy, but chronicles serendipity and the intoxicating possibility of transcendence. Technical fascinations abound. The error amalgamation might include wrong planchet, thinner or exotic material inducing spectral tones, extreme hub quadrupling from dye malfunction, profound off-center impressions bearing unstruck expanses, impeccably defined full steps contradicting 1993's customary softness, complete brockage mirroring catastrophic clip with retained date, and those radiating die cracks plus anomalous sintering synergies propel rarity into the stratosphere. Verification entails laboratory rigor, spectral weighing, dye alignment mapping, and clash diagnostics. Impervious to duplication, imposters attempt replication, but authentics exude that irreplaceable mint vitality and verifiable markers. The contemporary error nickel surge credits digital communities, tutorial platforms, and auction democratization, elevating esoteric pursuits to planetary spectacles. This 1993 P reigns unchallenged, affirming that even 90s coins attain immortality via monumental catastrophe. We've explored these escalating wonders from the 1981 P's groundbreaking reveal through the 1972 D's intensified intrigue and the 1979's heightened drama, culminating here in the most shocking valuation and rarity imaginable. The progression of these hidden fortunes proves that pocket change can indeed rewrite destinies, fueling endless hunts and dreams. Thank you for joining me on this exhilarating ride through the secret world of Jefferson nickel mega errors. If you've been captivated, remember to check your change jars, rolls, and collections, because the next discovery could be yours, turning 5 cents into a legacy that echoes through history and forever alters how you view those humble coins in your pocket.